Hey, Maisha.
Hello. All right, I'm letting him know we're ready to get started and I'll let you know, Chair, when we're. Good, so.
I'll have this lovely glistening green on our brows.
Already, Chair.
All right, good afternoon, and time is 6:02. It's our Henry County Board of Ethics meeting, Tuesday, September 10th, here in our Board of Ethics conference room. We'll do a quick roll call. District 1 is vacant. District 2, Mr. Samuel Bowman, welcome. District 3, Lauren B. Smith.
Present.
District 4, Felicia Harrell.
Present.
District 5, Desmond McLean, here. Tax Commission appointee, Cynthia Cornott.
Present.
Antonio Taylor, absent. Clerk of Superior Court selected alternates. Those seats are vacant. We will start with our board vote for approval of meeting minutes for 8/13/24. Can I get a motion?
I make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, it was motion made by Lauren Smith, seconded by Felicia Harrell. Harold,
Thank you.
sorry. All in favor? Any opposed? Granted. Our general updates by our ethics administrator.
Good evening, board. Chair, before we get started with general update, I would ask that we amend the agenda to remove item E, as that probable cause hearing has already taken place.
All right, thank you for the reminder. Could I get a motion to amend item E, the presentation of by ethics officer of probable cause in
I
case?
make that motion to amend.
A motion made by Lauren B. Smith,
A second it.
second by Cynthia Cornell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, if we can go back to our ethics administrator, any updates from our administrator?
Yes, on behalf of the administrator, Gloria Bannister, she has one update. The ethics office will be participating in the trunk or treat with hearing night out. That will take place on October 26th, 5 to 8 p.m. This is part of our community outreach that we tend to do so that we can help people realize who the board is and what we do. Last year, the board was generous enough to donate funds to be able to purchase candy. This year, the county is giving $500 to every department who is participating, so that will be used to purchase the candy. And we will be there to have all of our decor. Feel free to join us if you would like. If not, we will be there, represent the board with.
Can you remind us of the date and time again?
Sure, October 26th, 5 to 8 p.m. And that is at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
All right.
Thank you.
Any more updates?
No
Board
further
administrator?
update.
All right, now we will have our updates by our ethics officer. Officer?
Thank you, board. In regards to the updates that I have for you all. Our first update is in regards to training. We are still trucking along and having our in-person trainings with new hires. We conducted one the last Monday. I believe we had about 26 people that we conducted those trainings with. There's one scheduled for this upcoming Monday. We do them every other Monday. And we are moving right along with our virtual training. We've been in contact with them. They have the whole Henry County employee list that they have imported into their system. So I estimate that will be completed around probably the beginning of October. My plan is to roll it out with fire first because they haven't had any training, and use them as our beta testing to make sure it's working properly and things of that nature. So we estimate that to be completed by then. The second update is in regard.
I'm sorry, for the training, what's our percentage on the training as far as throughout the county?
I don't have an updated for the year to date.
Okay.
But I'll have that for you for the next meeting.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For onboarding, once all the current employees are in, is there, and I know you're gonna beta test with the fire department, is there an automatic onboarding process every time a new employee comes in? There's a notification that's sent to, Or is there some type of, like, how is it, or is it just you're receiving something from Human Resources and then you're calling to have them added? Is there like maybe
A link.
Yeah.
So I spoke with Human Resources to see if I could get a link. Maybe there was some way I can have access to the system, so I don't have to bother them every time we get a new list of employees. What we figured out is there is no easy way to do it because they can't give me access to just limited information. If they put me in where I have access to the system, I have access to their whole HR file. I don't feel comfortable with that. So what we have decided is on a quarterly basis, I'll reach out to HR. They will give me an updated employee list to make sure that we have the newer people put into the system. We also decided that we will carve out elections from that list because their turnover rate is so quick. They may have somebody that's hired Wednesday, work Thursday and Friday, and no longer works on Monday.
Gotcha.
So we're going to continue to do what we've been doing with the elections, with the virtual training and having them sign right then and there. And that'll be the only department we carve out. So we decided to do it on a quarterly basis where they'll give me updated lists.
And then when they're new, when there's a new hire, even, is there a way that a link can be shared with them in addition to those new hire, in that new hire packet?
Yes.
That's the Board of Ethics, so they can go in and then when you get your quarterly list, you're just doubling back to make sure it's done. That way it can kind of expedite the process a bit if they go ahead and start it.
Well, remember with new hires, I train them in person. So that will satisfy their whole year. But they can still get a copy of the link so they can always have access to it. During the orientation, I'll print out a QR code for them and then now they'll be able to access it. One training, that's a mandatory training, but they'll have access to the information in general. If they ever want to go back and just look at it again.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions about the training?
I do have a question.
Mhm.
Is the training tracked via calendar year or fiscal year?
Via county or what?
Calendar year, fiscal year.
We've been doing it based on fiscal year. And we actually been doing it, the county runs on the fiscal year, but each person is trained during different times. So the new system that we have will track it according to their anniversary year.
Okay, so
So when we're monitoring to see, okay, have we trained everybody for the year? We're tracking that on the fiscal year, but they do have to renew their training every anniversary date as their original training date.
okay, and when is the fiscal year end for the county?
I believe July.
July?
Is it June or July?
Oh, it's June 30th.
Maybe that's why I'm between June and July. Maybe June 30th. Gloria tends to know that a little bit better than I do.
So we're in the new fiscal year, the 25.
Yeah. And that's one thing we liked about this particular module that the board voted to purchase it. It will keep up automatically. And then it also send reminders. So when they're getting close to the anniversary date, it'll say, hey, you're getting close. And then when they're there, hey, you need to take it. And then when they're delinquent, hey, you haven't taken it.
And you'll receive a notice on their delinquent as well.
Yep, I'll get a notice and then I can also set it up where their direct supervisor can get a notice. It has a lot of those features. Any other questions on those trainings? The second thing is the board training. We do a board training for you all once a year. It looks like that's gonna be on October 29th, beginning at 5:30. It will be held here at the office. And that will be going over our policies and our procedures, seeing if we need to make any amendments to it, any additions. That would be the most appropriate time for the board to relook at those things, as well as a refresher on the code of ethics for the board.
What day was that?
October 29th.
October.
That's a Monday.
It's a Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions in that regard? The last update we have is in regards to some cases. We have the Thomas case. I presented to the board a copy of the amended final decision. I know we have a new board member, District 2, who's not at the hearing. But for everyone else, if you would just review that, make sure that is in accordance with what the board is doing, we get that published to the public. In addition to that, we have a request for the Rocky Muniz case on October the 8th. We have a final hearing. one of the witnesses has asked to appear telephonically. This particular witness is also an anonymous complainant. They indicated that they are no longer in Henry County. They have relocated to Cobb County. Recently, they started a new job about 3 months ago, and they don't have transportation to get back down here. I advised that I will bring that to the board to see how the board, if the board would allow them to appear via Zoom or via telephone, then that will be the board's decision.
I think in that case, even though it's anonymous, it would be valid to have them to appear via telephone and not be able to verify the identity of exactly who it is we're speaking with.
I would probably not recommend telephone. If the board allowed any type of remote appearance, I would recommend Zoom.
Correct. Which means they won't be anonymous.
Correct.
And they are they do understand that
They already understand that.
okay,
This person who is also anonymous is not, well, they were also anonymous as a complainant, but they also have been subpoenaed as a witness.
okay,
You just made them unanonymous. With all this conversation, we just revealed that they are no longer anonymous. In other words, I'll talk it, go on executive session or something, but we just, yeah, kind of messed that up.
Okay.
is there anything else?
No further updates from the ethics officer.
All right.
Any other questions and anything else?
I don't think so. It appears as if we would need to go in a executive, can I get a motion for that?
I make a motion to move to executive session.
Motion made by Brian Smith, second by Mr. Samuel Bowley. Executive session, we're in executive session as of now.
One moment, please.
All right, we are now back out of executive session. Before we ask,
It's white.
It's white.
Oh, okay. It'd be green. Okay.
so now that we're out of executive session, we just want to make mention of our ethics attorney for the board, Ms. Maisha Rashad, who is joining us virtually. Ms. Rashad?
How are you?
Good.
I'm here.
Thank you, thank you. And also, we want to recognize our new District Two Board member, Mr. Samuel Bowman. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So I think this is probably the best part of the meeting. If I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by
Well, second.
Laura Smith, second by Cynthia Cornell. All in favor? Any opposed? Our meeting is adjourned.
All right.
Me.